Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to be here with you all. First of all, thank you for having me. So basically, before coming into the topic itself, which is about virtual labs, I love always to give context. So whenever I was studying anything, my dad always told me, it's very important to know why you are studying this. So the why is very important, and that's why I will start by telling you why you should hear me today or why you should care about this topic. So basically, because I'm from Egypt and from Africa, I tend to talk about Africa as a very first thing. So a lot of people, when they see this map of Africa, they directly start thinking about a lot of our challenges that we have in Africa. And so one of our challenges that we have is about education. You know, a shocking fact for myself was that we have, okay, it was moving myself. So it's the other way around. Okay, so one of the shocking facts for myself was that we have 1% of the world share in the scientific output. And that's really, really shocking. And we also have the least number of students enrolling in STEM, let alone graduating. So these facts are really, not only shocking, but they are frustrating. But when we look at it for our company and for ourselves, we don't see this. We see also the opportunities, not only the challenges. We see that Africa is having the youngest and fastest growing population. This is something like a gift. This is given to us as a gift, and we need really to make the best use of it. So let me tell you how we can do that. Let's now focus on STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. I'm sure all of you have known this by now. So STEM education today is known to be by far the future. It's like the driver for social and economic development and everything. But one of the major challenges in STEM, and again, I'm sure because you are all chemists, you'll know that, it's lab work. This is a huge challenge today in STEM education. How can we do experiments in lab work? How can students do experiments? So why this is a challenge? Let's take these 4 big challenges that we have today in traditional labs or in-person labs. So we start by the limited access. How many students can enter the lab today in any university at the same time? It's always limited, it's fixed place, and you need to get them all inside the lab. And usually there is no way that the same student would do the same experiment more than once. And this is something crucial for understanding any concept. You wouldn't get all the students to understand everything from the first time. So this is another challenge. And then, let me get back to this. Okay. And then dealing with all the safety hazards. So we know that there are cancerous substances, there is radiation, there's a lot of problems there. How do all professors overcome these challenges? And finally, for a lot of developing countries, there is the fact that it's a huge cost. We cannot all have labs inside our faculties or schools today. It's just not the cost of constructing a lab, but just maintaining a lab. This requires hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So to overcome all these challenges, let me show you what we are doing now. So I took my PhD in human-computer interaction, as the doctor mentioned, from University of Sheffield, and directly wanted to use this in creating a different experience, and that's how it looks like. So this is the platform, this is the virtual lab, and I'm going to show you a live demo. It lets the students, as if they have their own lab, but it's virtual, it's an online lab. And they can do all the steps, from the first step to the last step. They can repeat it as much as possible. It's infinite. You don't have any constraints on time, on space, on whatever it is. You don't have any constraints. They can keep practicing until they really know everything. And this is not replacing real lab, because I know we need to use our senses. So they will go to the real lab, but after they can practice as much as possible in the virtual lab. And because, as I mentioned, we are all academics here, we care about numbers. So virtual labs is not a patent for ourselves. It's there since a lot of time, and a lot of studies were done to see their effect. And they found that because students tend to use the virtual labs, they became very proficient with the lab surroundings and procedure. They know every step, and that led to an increase in their performance by 60%. When we say performance, it's the learning outcomes. They really are doing better in the courses and in the exams and everything. And it's also increasing the retention by 80%. A lot of us today, in a lot of talks I heard, talking about how to change teaching, how to make students more motivated. So this was really helping in motivation and retention as well. And also, it's very important to look at the qualitative as well as the quantitative. So these were some of the feedback we got from the students themselves talking about their experience. Of course, a lot of them were talking about the repeatability. How can I repeat the same experiment a lot of times without someone watching me? You know, some students don't have even disability, but it's called learning difficulty. They don't want someone to be watching them. They are afraid, they are shy, whatever it is. So they want to try in a safe environment, and that's the virtual labs. It was also talking about one other aspect. Usually we see it in physics experiments where you need to try change different variables quickly and see the effect. You can do that in a virtual lab in less than a minute, while in a real lab you need the resources, you need the time, you need the effort. So again, these all changes or like differences in the experience were seen by the students themselves, and they talked about it. And a quick thing here, because we talk about the future all the time, one of the things that we care about is at Praxis Labs, or generally I know today we talked also about sustainability. How can we reach talented students out there and everywhere who do not have the same resources or who are not lucky enough like those in advanced countries? And that's why we really care about emerging markets. And this is why our current launch, which is soon this month or next month, will be the native app. We know that not every student has a laptop, and a lot of African students and Latin American students, for example, they only have a mobile phone or a tablet, and they need to use it. Today, no other virtual lab is on a mobile phone. So this is something we are really, really caring about, to help every student out there practice lab work. So this is something we are going to release very soon. And this is just a quick peek for you to be the first people who see the mobile app. So this is going to be giving the student a way to smooth experience, just to do the lab work, even see their progress, and even use it in an offline mode. Because a lot of countries today, again, face the problem of infrastructure and internet connection. So we'll not only give them the mobile app, we will also do like YouTube or Netflix downloads, where they can download an experiment and go back home, where they are suffering from the internet connection, and use the lab and just start practicing as much as they need. And a quick also peek here. So this is how the lab looks like in our next release. Actually, we're working in it to give the students another better immersive experience. So this is how it's going to be looking like, with a bit of like a modern look. And quickly, this is just how we are talking now to and working with a lot of universities around the world. I just want to show you that it's not only about emerging markets, it's also about advanced countries where they want to improve their learning outcomes. We're working in countries in different continents, actually, and this is something we are proud of, but it also gives us credibility that this is really needed in everywhere. I want to use the rest of the time, it's just 5 minutes, to show you the real demo so that we can have a grasp of it, because not everyone knows how the virtual lab works. So can we get the demo? Sure. Oh, hello, I just need the demonstration, the live demo. A link? Oh, you switched it already? Oh, okay, cannot see from here. Okay, so this is how the platform actually looks like. Let's zoom out so you can see it all. So I chose one of the experiments today. I know you're a chemist, but this is one of the very frequent experiments that a lot of people would easily understand. It's DNA extraction. So I wanted to choose that just because it's easy. It's also easy for myself to understand, because I'm not a chemist, I'm from computer science. So it's easy for me to explain on the platform. So usually when you open the lab, you'll just see all the equipment, all the tools, everything in front of you as a student. And then you can use it in different ways. If you know every step, you can directly start practicing. So you wouldn't ask for any help. And let's see here, for example, now I know that the first step is that I need 10 microliters of RNase enzyme. Okay. So here Oxy, which is the lab partner, is just doing a correct step. And let's zoom in so that you can see. And open the RNase solution here. And then we'll take the pipette. We'll take the tip first, actually. We need the tip first. Okay, and I'm taking the tip, and I'm going to the RNase solution here. And as you see here, the color is pinkish color because it's pink and real. And then you put it in the sample like this. You need to go to the sample first. Okay, yeah, okay. And then I put it inside the sample. I need to close the RNase solution. And then I need to get rid of the tip. This is how you exactly teach the student to do it in the real lab. And then what if the student doesn't remember the second step? We definitely need to give them some feedback or some help. So they can ask Oxy, what is the next step? And as a facilitator, they won't reveal it directly. They start giving like a hint. And then if I don't know, they give the reveal at the very end. So now it's 700 microliters. And this time, it's different. It's the lysis buffer. So I will close this. And let's open the lysis buffer here. And this time, because it's a different pipette, I need to take the right one. So I'm taking the blue one. I'm taking a pipette here. And I'm taking the lysis buffer like this. And this time, it's actually transparent, not pink. And I'm putting it inside the sample as well. And now I need to close the lysis buffer and also get rid of the tip. Okay, let me show you just more step. I don't have to go through the whole experiment, but it's important to see also the equipment, how it's working. So the third step is actually using the water bath. A lot of these equipment, like the PCR, cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Here, for example, in Egypt, I know that some time ago, it was like 1.5 million EGP, which is, it's huge to afford. So let's take the sample and put it in the water bath here, and let's teach the student how to use the software as well. So they will start, increase the time, because they know that they need to put it on 1 hour. And the temperature, it should be 37 degrees. Let's start by 36. Yeah, it's not right. So it's telling me that it's not right. Let's put it on 37, and then let's start. So it's now warming up. And then once it's done, to 1 hour, it's actually done, and rather than waiting for 1 hour, just wait for some seconds. One of the very important features of a virtual lab also I wanted to mention is now we are all caring about personalized learning, right? We don't want to waste students' time. So one feature that we released, and it was very important for the students, is called stages. Today, some of these experiments could take like 30 minutes on a virtual lab, but we want them to focus on only the part that they are missing. So what if they understand the first 2 stages really well and they want to focus on the 3rd stage? They wouldn't be able to do that in a real lab. But in a virtual lab, we allow them to do that. They can skip directly and go to the 3rd stage here. And the platform will act as if it finished the first 2 stages and ask them to continue the 3rd stage. This is something also very important, and we've seen the feedback from the students about it. And I don't want to take more time, so I just show you quickly all the kinds of help that we have for the students here. It's also very important. It's not only simulation. They have the lab manual, which is a PDF file, but they also have a guidance, which is a video. So as opposed to something written, sometimes students have different learning styles, so they would watch a video. I don't know if the internet is working, so it needs internet connection, but they can watch a video for the experiment, and they can do everything they need here, and then they can even assess their understanding through a lot of questions in between, and everything they are doing is reported back to the professors. So you are not missing really on monitoring them. You actually get a report that you wouldn't be able to do in a real lab. You get a report saying, how many times did the student attempt this specific experiment? Is it 5 times or 10 times? What is the duration? How long did they take? What is their progress inside these questions? How many times did they ask the robot for help? So a lot of really insightful material. And I don't want to go over my time, so thank you, Doctor. This is all. And I hope that was useful for you. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Khadija. Thank you, Dr. Khadija.
I'm here if you want
we can take 1 or 2 questions.
Sure.
Please.
Yeah, thanks for that. Really, really nice. Applaud your passion for this.
Thank you.
And I really like the fact you're trying to think about also internet infrastructure. Well, that's fantastic. I was wondering to ask, I've looked at quite a few virtual labs. I get contact all the time.
Sure.
To buy these tools.
Yes.
What would you say are the things that differentiate your product against all the others on the market?
Thank you. I feel that this question we get a lot from investors, not from the audience, but that's fine. So definitely there are outside like a lot of platforms, as you mentioned, but we have like four specific advantages, or like I would say competitive edges here. So one of them, as I mentioned, the native app. This would be the first virtual lab to be working on mobile and tablet for students, but also the user experience. You can try different platforms, and you can see that we try to mimic the real lab as much as possible and give students very intuitive experience. So it's not like focusing on a lot of other labs, for example, give a wowie effect. It looks really nice. So the look and feel really nice, but the interactivity and the user experience is horrible, and it's very difficult. And again, we've worked on this for 6 years almost now to get students' feedback and provide them the best user experience. And definitely one of the very important things is also the pricing, because we are in Egypt, because we are completely different from companies in the West, for example, we can give definitely better prices, cheaper prices for emerging markets. So this is really like how we are concentrating today with the universities. Thank you for the question.
Please.
I hope you agree that for advanced studies, the virtual lab is okay, right? We are doing this in Germany too.
Okay.
But to know what kind of pipettes, of cylinders, of round flask you take, it is necessary to do in the primary lab or in the primary education.
Yes.
You have to have the original apparatus.
Yeah.
You cannot do it from the beginning.
I can come. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for the comment, definitely. But this makes sense. But I'll just tell you one thing, doctor. So we have also like a prerequisite lab. We call it safety lab, and another prerequisite lab where they just go there, see all the equipment, all the tools, how it's used, why it's being used in every experiment. So they even can do that in a virtual setting. But definitely, I agree with you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, doctor.
Thank you.